Welcome to the bold analysis. There is a question that has been asked here. It's a very vague question, but I want us to look at it. Kenya Kwanza is asking Kenyans, what is the problem if out of the 35 billion hustler funds that have been disbursed, only 3 have defaulted, only 3 billion have not been paid? This statement came from President William Samoei Ruto. Ladies and gentlemen, this statement was made clearly during the Western tour. And the intention was to answer a question that had been asked by a couple of other politicians, or that a question that had been asked when IMF and World Bank demanded data on the Hustler Fund. And the Hustler Fund, IMF demanded that they be given the raw data on Hustler Fund, because there was an understanding that are we just escalating our debt profile blindly, and if it remains unmarked, then we might find ourselves in a hole. This is a flagship. Hustler Fund was a flagship program of Kenya Kwanza. It was one that was launched last year, 30th November, just 2 months after the inauguration, because it was a promise that had to be redeemed. It was a pledge that had to be redeemed. Maybe you'll allow me to give you the rationale, the objective of the fund. The objective of the fund was to allow access to financing, and the Hustler Fund came as a package. Part of the package was to ensure that those enlisted with CRB are actually given second chance to be able to get financing. So just to that extent, Hustler Fund was a flagship project of Kenya Kwanza that would allow many people to get to entrepreneurship, and by that we increase the tax base so that when the taxman comes, he finds a wider space to impose the taxes. 9 months, or it's not 9 months, yeah, it's barely like 9 months, we're in August. 9 months after that fund, 10 months after that fund was rolled, it cannot clearly be explained or be defended in public that that fund achieved that objective. What the Politico is telling you is that we have disbursed the funds. As to whether the objective has been achieved, no one seems to be talking about it, and that part has remained silent. And so, I'm one person that have insisted under the Bold. In the Bold podcast, I have always insisted that the data on Hustler Fund needed to be served raw without manipulation, because sometimes when politicians speak, they tend to speak with a political lens. But if Hustler Fund could be explained with an economical lens, we will get a different picture from that picture that HOS, the head of state, is trying to portray. And this is not to mean that this data is wrong. I want to give you something. During the during the Central Kenya, the Mombasa tour, it was the same story of 70% have paid, 30% have not paid. It was the same story of Mombasa, it was the same story of Kilifi and Tana River, and even to Mount Kenya. And I kept on asking, is this the true picture with it? Is this the true picture? Because what we know is, even if you make your own research and meet some 10 people, get some 10 people who are going to be very truthful, you realize that the first batch of Hustler funders, the first batch, the default rate was above the 50%. So even if they rolled back in the program and then became very disciplined, it is something that can still be debated. But that is not why I'm doing this. That is what I want to insinuate here. I'm wondering, why is the president telling Kenyans that it is not a problem that 3 billion have not paid? This is because the fact that 3 billion has not paid, that should not, according to him, should not be seen as a failure. I don't think the failure of that fund is on how many people are not repaying or how many people are paying. The failure or the success of the fund can only be determined as to whether it achieved the objective. I don't know that that can get more clearer than how I've said it. And that is why I want to make some 3 important observations that I'm seeing from the issue about Hustler Fund. I don't see William Ruto being truthful with this data. And the reason I'm saying it is not being truthful is because the messaging on the project is more political than expert. You know, it's more political than economical. You know why? I'm waiting for the day a principal secretary who is in charge of this fund will appear in a television TV and even explain more on this. I wish that it gets to bit of that point. Why must it take the president to rush to go to a political rally to defend a government project? A political rally where the information is getting relayed to people where you don't have a two-way communication channel. Why is it that the Hustler Fund messaging has always been one way? In a television panel interview, when the politician or the civil servant of the state official makes such a statement, it will be ideal and possible for Kenyans to question and say, give us the data. Where is that data? Give us that. It can be questioned and it can be two-way. But the messaging behind it, the messaging is more on what is to be seen as a success. But for example, if I will secure a sit down with the peers, what I would ask the peers is on their assessment, on their evaluation of the project. How effective or what is the conversion rate of those taking the funds, especially within a specific county or a specific market. You may not know about the market, but a specific county. What is the conversion rate of that money getting to business? For example, the person taking Hustler Fund today, how often is that person transacting? If that person is running a business, because that was the initial loan. Now, it was not to be a personal loan. And what happened here is the first batch of Kenyans that took that loan took a personal loan. The personal loan is subject to default. Now, the president has gone also in the rally and said that even if you don't pay, don't worry, government will not pursue defaulters. I'm looking at, instead of encouraging them to pay, you are asking them that, you know what, 3 billion is nothing. You know, it's like, it's pocket change. But remember, this is public money. Now, there is something that IMF and the World Bank and our development partners are seeing. Our debt management is poor. If Hustler Fund is a debt that Kenyans owe the government, and it's 3 billion, that is not small money. Just the same way, there are also other debtors, other creditors that are also demanding some cash or some money from government. Number 3, the Hustler Fund, it's a bit questionable because it's being run and managed like a private entity. And Ruto is the only person talking about it. I am one person that, of course, I like the technology-based solution because it's modern, it's convenient. One of the qualities of tech is it must be easy, it must be convenient, it must be affordable, you know, and there is everything good with technology and paperless. But there is everything suspicious with when you put the process being all 90% tech, and there is no human input at one point, less human input at one point, it actually stops the accountability checks. Because if we could be having a board or a commission or a fund being under state proposal like a state agency like Lab Fund or like Weather Fund or like Govt, then media will be starting asking, present for Govt, present for us. Going to parliament, present for us this, present for that. But of course, with the administrative cost, it's a lot more. But then someone will then ask is, why must it take, why is the president only the only cabinet secretary talking about the fund? It's more managed like a private entity. And this is like a businessman going to say that I have made a profit at the end of the day. Even if I have borrowed you 10 billion, but even if you failed to pay 2 billion, I don't have a problem because at the end of the day, I've made my profit. It sounds and tastes and smells like that. While the intention was never to get how many people repaying. The intention was to get how many people managing, accessing funds, starting or pushing their businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, there is more than what catches the eye. But I do believe that those who are behind the messaging, you will do testimonials. Yes. Get to market. Be truthful. Get a woman who uses Hustler Fund. Na amepata hiyo 500. Amefungua hii. This business is doing this or this. Let him or her narrate the journey with the Hustler Fund. That I started with this, and I've done this, I've tried up to this, and this is what I've achieved. So that people will make the more picture. The picture is more raw, is more clear, is more believable from the business point of view than political point of view. The government was not supposed to give us another loan to ask on how many people have repaid or have not repaid. It was supposed to avail a loan to enable people get into business. So the question you should be talking about is the conversion rate. How many people are taking loans and getting into business? Of course, the line is not very straight. It's not very easy to ascertain that. But I do believe that was the sole intention of the fund. Let's look at the next. Thank you.